Well, Radio Crazy back here on a Monday night. Um, I haven't done one of these in a long time, and you probably haven't heard from me in about 3 weeks or 4 weeks or however long it takes you to grow your yellow toenails out. Um, Back with another show. Uh, right now, it's about 11:48 p.m. 10 minutes, 12 minutes till the witching hour. My neighbor, as usual, is outside blasting his country music really loud so that I can hardly play any records. So I decided to come on here and do a little recording again tonight. Uh, what's he playing? Oh, he likes to blast his Jason Aldean as loud as he can out of his big ass truck that uses too much gas. I think it costs about $5 to drive for him to drive about half a mile down the road to where we work at. And besides that, he gets so bored, he's outside making a concrete sidewalk again outside of his place. You know, he has nothing better to do at close to midnight but do some concrete work in front of his place. I think half of his yard is concrete now. Pretty soon he won't have any grass left, but his excuse is that he won't have so many mosquitoes. Or something like that. I've seen him outside. He's a good friend of mine. You all might have heard me talk about him in the past. His name's Pat. He lives next door to me. Where are we at? About the end of June here. We've got one more month. About a month and 1 week, and I will be moving to another spot. I haven't been on in a while, and that's just because, well, I've been lazy about making videos and whatnot. And, now and then I need a change, so I came on to do another Radio Crazy. And a while back, I wanted to make some videos about just certain albums I liked, a memory that might have came with it, or something like that. So I decided to come on tonight and talk about an AC/DC album that I bought a long time ago. I think this particular album, it's an AC/DC album with a lightning bolt on the front, and the picture on the cover is of one of the Young brothers in his schoolboy outfit. Is that Angus? I think I'm thinking of Angus. I'm not really sure. At the moment, I can't even remember the name of that damn album. Anyway, my dirty bastard self. I had that album way back in the 80s when I was in high school. And I remember walking down the street to a friend's house. His name was Gary. I can't remember his last name. He's probably old like me now, and I don't even know if he's alive anymore. But one day, for some reason, we decided that, okay, we're going to go to his house and we're going to listen to records together. People used to do that. They would go to each other's houses and share each other's albums like people used to. Back in those days, there was no internet, no Facebook, Twitters, Yahoos, Instagrams, and all that type of stuff. You had to actually interact with another human being in order to communicate and have some fun back in those days. But I remember walking down to his place. You know, I had my album in hand, my AC/DC album, and uh, I was probably wearing my jean jacket with Motley Crue patch on the back and my acid wash jeans and my mullet cut that was back in the back of my head somewhere back there, y'all. But anyway, I just remember that was one of the times that I went and shared an album with one of my friends down the street. I can't remember if he liked it or not, because I don't even remember what albums he listened to. He might have listened to Barry Manilow, blasting out of his speakers with the cushiony foams on the front and all that stuff, and on his sound design record player from Kmart or somewhere. Ain't that where they used to have those sound design record players? Weren't they at Kmart? Because back in those days there was no Walmart. It was just Kmart. Walgreens was still around. Woolworths. Those places where your mother used to take you to shop when you was a kid, and sometimes she would buy you a ice cream cone or something at the Dairy Queen. We all reminisce about the old days when we used to have, yep, we used to all have record players. Record players, phonographs, AM radio was a big thing back then. I remember we had a radio station called KEWI. It was called Kiwi, and you know they would have these call-in contests and things, and we would call in to at this time we had to call into that radio station and say the theme song to that station. And I called in one time, and they said, "Well, can you sing? You're the first person to call in here, or whatever it was. Can you sing the theme song to our radio station?" So I sang it. It was like KEWI 1440, and I called in, and I won myself a 6-pack of Bubble Up, 16-ounce bottles of Bubble Up Sody Pop. And that was back in the day when we had radio stations where people would actually talk, and you could call in and talk to them. Now you call in, you're probably going to get a computer service where it says press 1 and you may leave a message, press 2 and you may get the what would you get? you would probably get a new pair of shoes and perhaps some Nike sneakers, sounds of a woman's voice, or you could press 3 and get Habib over somewhere in some Middle Eastern country in South America called Guatemala, and they don't know how to pronounce their names or your name. They're just reading off of a script. Reading off of a script from a big budget, huge multi-million-dollar company that sends things out to be, hell, I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about now. I could get all into all kinds of bullshit over that, like immigration and all the sickest stuff that is going on in the world, and we done lost track of our AC/DC record that we were supposed to be talking about, which was an album that I purchased at Mother Earth Records in Topeka, Kansas, and I walked over to my friend's house, and we shared some records together. KEWI 1440 Radio Crazy.